Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I'm so delighted you're here with me today. Today I am going to be talking about something that is going on right now. We've talked about it before. Yes, Mercury is getting ready to go into retrograde. What does that mean for you? And the reason I thought I would talk about this today is because I am already starting to feel some of the effects of Mercury in retrograde, and maybe you are too. So if you don't know what Mercury in retrograde is, or maybe you know what it is, but you need a refresher on what to expect, then today's episode is just for you. So what exactly is Mercury in retrograde? So we're actually coming upon the last Mercury in retrograde. So we've already had 2 this year. And what it actually is that Mercury seems to be going backwards, and which is why they call it Mercury in retrograde. It's not actually going backwards. It just appears to be moving backwards. It's sort of like an optical illusion. And many people in astrology believe that when this happens, it triggers a cycle of different events. So what are some things that can happen? Well, first of all, Mercury is the planet that deals with communication. So a big thing that happens during Mercury in retrograde is that communication can go awry. And one of the biggest forms of communication is the internet, right? It's technology, because the internet is literally different computers talking to one another. So technology is one of the things during Mercury in retrograde that can just go a little bit haywire. And I don't know about you guys, but that is one of the things that I've really noticed lately in probably the last couple of days. The technology in my classroom is just insane. It doesn't make any sense either. For example, we have a gradebook program. We have a shortcut for the desktop, and you can also get to it through the district's website. Well, this morning, it would not load on my computer. And every once in a while, it will go down this program. But my brother is the one who is in charge of this program for our district. So I usually just text him and I say, hey, this is down, or what's going on? So today I texted him and he said, oh, it's working fine here. What's going on? So I walked next door to my coworker and she said, no, it's fine for me. It was fine for everyone. It was just me. And it was just that computer. It worked on the Chromebook. It would not load. It kept getting these errors. There is a way we're supposed to be able to cast our Chromebook screens to our Promethean boards. That was not working for me this week a couple of days, just certain times. There's a program that I use to play vocabulary games with my kids. That was not loading today. So there's just been different technology stuff going on, and there's no rhyme or reason. It's not like all the time. It's not the same program all the time. It's just been different programs. And I'm like, okay, Mercury must be getting ready to go retrograde. And I had heard that it was, but I thought, okay, this makes sense. It's totally going retrograde. Another thing is like emails getting lost too, because emails is another form of communication. And I swear to you, when I have guests on my show, their agents often send me information about the guests so that I have all of this beforehand. The last 2, I guess, that I've had on the show, the emails that gave me all of their information, they're gone. And I don't delete that stuff. I could not find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I felt so stupid talking to these people saying, I'm so sorry, I don't have any of your information. I've been looking for days for this email because I like to be prepared. Couldn't find it. You might find that you're tripping over your words sometimes, having a hard time like speaking, because again, it's all about communications. You may have falling out with people in your life, or friends or coworkers or people that you're in a relationship with. Misunderstandings happen a lot. And another thing that usually happens during Mercury in retrograde is that travel can sometimes get messed up. So if you're having to travel right now, and I say all of this let's not say it's going to happen, because we don't want to call anything in, but just know that if things like this are happening, this is why. This is the reason. The travel and communication regarding travel get disrupted, flights get delayed. And this is interesting too, because when Mary and I went to Florida, we had a flight. This was the weirdest thing ever. I've never, ever had anything happen like this to me before, but we had a flight to Florida, and it was a straight flight, right? Nonstop. We got on it, and it boarded early, actually, earlier than I had expected. Everyone gets on, and then the flight crew gets on the plane, and they have a piece of paper, and they're literally going up and down the aisles asking us for our names, which I thought was the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, that's never happened on a flight before. Why are they doing that? And their count was off from what was in the computer, so they thought they had an extra passenger, and it was a security risk, and it turned out to be the computer had the wrong number. I don't know how that happens. Again, maybe Mercury, I don't know. So we take off, and we were maybe a couple of minutes later than we were supposed to leave, but not that much later. It was maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and I thought, well, we'll make that up in the air. Usually that's what happens. So we get about a half an hour outside of our destination, and the pilot comes on and says, because there are storms in the area, we have to circle, which was bad enough because I just wanted to get there because it was about 5:30, 6 o'clock Florida time, which is where we were going. And I'm like, I'm hungry. I just want to get there. And I was really starving because I hadn't really eaten that much before we left. And then the pilot gets on. He says it's going to be probably an hour and a half because we have to circle. And I thought, oh my gosh, seriously? And of course I had to go to the bathroom too. I'm like, really? Well, then he gets on about 20 minutes later and says, we don't have enough fuel to circle, so we're flying to Jacksonville, which was not our destination. We had to fly to a different airport so they could refuel. And he said, and we'll probably be sitting there for a while. I was like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. So we ended up being like 3 hours later to our destination than where we were originally supposed to be, which isn't, I know that's not horrible, but considering the fact that I was hungry and I had to use the restroom and we were surrounded by children who were crying and screaming and having meltdowns, it was not great. So we finally get there, but that was another example of how travel can get messed up. So maybe if you're going anywhere, just call on the Archangel of Travel to protect you and make sure everything goes smoothly, because that is something that can happen during Mercury in retrograde. There can be confusion around work projects. I've always heard, you shouldn't really sign contracts when Mercury is in retrograde. I think you just have to be extra careful about signing anything because, again, there can be miscommunication. One of the other things that you may experience during this time is brain fog. And I don't know about you guys, but that is another thing. I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm so tired from teaching, going back to school, and I forgot how exhausting it is. But I've literally been talking to someone and searched for the word and could not find it. Like an English word was not a difficult word and could not find it. And I can't tell you how many times I went to search for something just online. And by the time I opened up my window to search for it, I'd already forgotten what I was going to look for. I mean, bad, like to the point that I've been thinking, oh my gosh, I wonder if I'm experiencing dementia, early onset dementia. Like, is that bad? And then it gets better and I think, okay, no, that's not it. So I was reading about the Mercury in retrograde and I remembered, oh my gosh, yeah, the brain fog. Yeah, that's definitely what's going on here. And for me too, another thing that I've kind of been experiencing is like differences in my body and appetite, which is weird. I don't really remember having experienced that before, but this one particular article that I was reading said that you can experience headaches and things. So I'm sure there probably are things that are affected within your body as it's going through this Mercury in retrograde. So if you're experiencing any of those kinds of things, this is why. You may be experiencing anxiety. And stress and anxiety can cause a lot of things, like you may have a hard time sleeping, or you may just feel physiological changes in your body, nervousness, your heart rate goes up. All of those different things can be caused from extra anxiety, extra stress, which Mercury in retrograde can cause. So it's great, isn't it? That's why whenever someone says, oh, Mercury is going retrograde, everyone says, are you kidding? Again, not again. But you can get through this. You can protect yourself when it goes retrograde. One of the things that you definitely need to make sure is that when you're communicating with someone, don't rush through it. Make sure that you express everything you need to express. And in texting and email especially, sometimes it's hard to read someone's tone. So make sure you're taking extra time reading through your emails and your texts, making sure they make sense, first of all, because I don't know about you, but autocorrect is the worst thing in the world. It's always changing something to something I did not want. So make sure you're reading things, proofreading, checking. And especially in work projects, make sure you're proofreading and checking, because it can mean the difference between being embarrassed and causing a big fight or feeling okay because you double checked everything. So just make sure. And if you're signing contracts, again, make sure that you double check. When you have issues with technology, we can call in Archangel Uriel and Archangel Metatron, because Archangel Uriel is said to be responsible for converting the world to run on mathematics and fixing bugs in the source code of the universe. So what is computer technology? It's all about code, right? Archangel Gabriel is also the archangel of communication. So Archangel Gabriel might be a good archangel to call on at this time as things are kind of going haywire with communication. And if you know that you have to travel, Archangel Raphael is one of the archangels known for safe travel. So you might want to call on Archangel Raphael. I think around this time, it's especially important to make sure that you're doing a lot of extra self-care. Make sure you're getting as much sleep as you can. So if you're having trouble sleeping, now might be the time to look for things to help you with sleep. One of the things I love is doTERRA has this sleep, they come in pill form, but it's also an oil. It's called Serenity. And the pills you just take maybe an hour before you go to bed, or you can even, if you take a hot bath, you can put the oil in your bath water, or you can even just put the oil on, or you can take the oil orally too. And it helps to give you a good night's sleep. I really like it. I think it works a lot. It helped my mom a lot. And also the Life Wave patches, they have a silent night patch, and I just bought some and I tried them for the first time. And normally during the night, I'll wake up several times a night. I have not been doing that. And I am still having really vivid dreams. So I think that especially during this Mercury in retrograde, you may be having vivid dreams. And for me, my vivid dreams are bringing up a lot of past relationship stuff. And I think that's happening on purpose. And so you may be experiencing something like that too. There may be things coming to light for you, and that's normal. But if you're having a hard time sleeping, there are lots of things out there safely that can help you to get a good night's sleep. I heard a doctor even the other day just talk about how if you need to, just get Benadryl and take a little Benadryl if you need to be drowsy, because people spend a lot of money on ZQuil and all of these things, and they're like, the off-brand of Benadryl will work exactly the same. It's the same ingredients, so just take that. But I love the silent nights. Those patches have been great. Like I said, I normally wake up every 2 hours, maybe a night. And I don't wake up because I have to use the restroom or anything like that. I'm just waking up. I'm just not getting a solid night's sleep. And the last few nights that I've been using the silent nights, I have not woken up. I wake up a little bit before my alarm goes off, or if the dogs bark or something, that wakes me up. But otherwise, I've been sleeping pretty deeply. So that's a good thing. And again, the Serenity by doTERRA, also a good thing to check out. And if you're interested in purchasing either of those things, contact me because I'm a distributor for both just because I buy the products, and so I can set you up with that. So definitely make sure you're getting sleep, eating healthier, eating right, getting grounded. Make sure you're grounded. So doing meditations or whatever you need to do to get grounded, going for walks in nature. But this is really important right now because this can be a very stressful time. But remember that we will get through this, and Mercury in retrograde will eventually go back. It's going to end on the 2nd of October. So yes, we have a month of it, but you will survive. You will get through. And now that you know what it is, if you start experiencing those symptoms, you know what to do to help you get through that. Again, Archangel Gabriel is the Archangel of communication. So call on Archangel Gabriel if you're experiencing trouble getting your words out or through email and miscommunications, things like that. You can call on Archangel Uriel, Gabriel, and Metatron for technology issues, and call on Archangel Raphael if you're traveling. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to pull a couple of cards for you today. And the cards that I pulled, or the deck that I used to pull the cards, is the Daily Guidance from Your Angels Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And you may be able to tell that even me doing this podcast, getting my words out, can be a struggle a little bit. Again, I think it has a lot to do with what's happening right now with Mercury in retrograde. So your first card that came out is, what do you desire? You now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, they will rush into your life as if by magic. And your second card, I love this, it came out together, is Law of Attraction. Each thought is an investment that pays immediate dividends, so invest wisely. You have the power to choose your thoughts and align them with love, peace, and harmony. At your request, we will gladly attune your energies to higher frequencies. All right, I love that. And I hope that those resonated for you. Remember to keep focusing on what you want to see in your life, not what you don't want to see in your life. I hope you are having a great week. If you would like a more detailed reading with me, you can do a reading. I did bring those back because I realized that as soon as I took them off, I had all these people requesting them, and I was like, oh, okay, so I need to keep doing this. So I do have the readings. I have a 30-minute or an hour. You can purchase them on my website at melissaopen.com or reach out to me to schedule it. Or if you're interested in coaching or a healing session, I'm offering that too. I hope that you guys have a beautiful day today from wherever you're listening. As always, I am sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.